What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a look at some Transformers TCG Wave 4 battle cards, which are all about white icon prizes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be all white because we need to really go for some white icons. Cool. Now, there are actually 3 cards that are coming out in Wave 4, all of which are really quite nice when it comes to the white icons, and they are Acute Reflexes, Adaptive Plating, and Erratic Cannon. And you might notice we have an upgrade utility, an upgrade armor, and an upgrade weapon. And of course we have a white icon, a blue icon, and an orange icon. So between the 3 of them, you really are getting a gamut of a little bit of everything. So let's go through them one by one, shall we? Acute Reflexes is an upgrade utility that grants the character to which it is attached Focus 1. That is to say, before flipping battle cards when battling, look at the top card of your deck and you may scrap it. Cool. If you're attacking and you see a blue icon, get rid of it. If you are defending and you see an orange icon, get rid of it. Or if you're feeling really bold, pun kind of intended, maybe you see an orange icon and you scrap it to increase the chances of flipping a double orange icon. But when the upgraded character battles and you flip at least one white icon, it gets +1 attack and +1 defense until end of battle. Now, +1 attack is not particularly good. There are a million different cards out there that can give you +1 attack. And similarly, +1 defense isn't particularly good. There are a million different cards out there that can give you +1 defense. But giving you +1 attack and +1 defense, we don't see that very often at all. I mean, to take Ion Blaster of Optimus Prime as an example, now okay, that does give you +2 attack and +1 defense, so you get the extra 1 attack there, but it's only for Optimus Prime, and it doesn't give you Focus 1, so this is pretty gosh darn good. Adaptive Plating, now what I love about this, it is an armor and it's got a blue icon, which means if you want to go defensive, this will both help you in terms of the defense and help you with a blue icon, which is good for defending. Though please do be aware that it doesn't actually give you any extra defense until you flip the white icon. Now, when you're defending and you flip at least one white icon, you get +2 defense until end of battle. Cool. +2 defense is huge. The example I often give is Blast Shield back from Wave 1, which to be fair did also have a blue icon, and that gave you +2 defense and it was guaranteed, but it also fell off when you defended. This just gives you +2 defense. But this is the part where we need to look back at the wording of Acute Reflexes and notice very specifically that it says battles, which is to say when you're defending or when you're attacking. Although basically if you're attacking and you flip a white +1 attack, if you're defending and you flip a white +1 defense. Which means if you've got both Acute Reflexes and Adaptive Plating attached, and you flip a white icon while defending, you actually get +3 defense. And +3 defense is flat out nuts. Now, it's not entirely unforeseen. There is actually a card coming out in Wave 4 Composite Armor that we talked about just a couple of days ago, and Composite Armor will actually give you +3 defense, but it can only be put on tanks. And when you defend, you scrap the card after battle. Though if you flip at least one black icon, you do 1 damage to the attacker, so there is at least that. My point is, +3 defense is not something we just give out. It's really, really good. Okay, so that's pretty good. What about the last one, Erratic Cannon? And once again, it's an attacking card that boosts your attack and has an orange icon which boosts your attack. So we've got great synergy within the card there. Compare it to something like Power Sword, for instance, which gives you the bold, which is great, but also gives you a blue icon. And when the upgraded character attacks and you flip at least one white icon, you get +3 attack until end of battle. But once again, this combos nicely with Acute Reflexes, because then you get the +1. So if you've got both of these attached, all of a sudden you flip a white icon and you get +4 attack. Well, +4 attack is Grenade Launcher, except Grenade Launcher falls off at the end of the battle. And sure, we've got some +3 attacks, but none of them are particularly good. We've got things like EM24 IR Laser Launcher, except it has no battle icon and it's just +3 attack. Make no mistake about it, this is phenomenal. And then, of course, if you get all three on there, and you've got to imagine that your opponent never draws into something like ramming speed, for instance, and your character doesn't get KO'd. There's plenty of ways around this. But if by some quirk of fate you can actually get all three of these onto the same character at the same time, then all of a sudden, if you're defending and you go ahead and flip a white icon, +3 defense, if you're attacking and you flip a white icon, +4 attack, both of those are like silly, ridiculous, over-the-top nuts good. However, that's if you've got all three attached and you flip the white icon. Now, if you don't flip the white icon, none of these are good, do not play them. If you don't flip a white icon, you get Focus 1 from Acute Reflexes, which is fine, but that's literally all you're getting. So we are relying on flipping the white icon here. But like I've said, if you flip the white icon and you've only got one on there, Adaptive Plating is still Blast Shield, but it doesn't fall off. Erratic Cannon is still as good as, say, EM24 IR Laser Launcher, except you've got the orange icon rather than no icon, so it's better. You're still really good cards. So what we really need to do is to try and play a really white deck. Play as many white icons as we can. Now, of course, the downside to playing a lot of white icons in your deck is that you're not flipping the extra orange, you're not flipping the extra blue when attacking or defending to give yourself those boosts, and that can hurt you. But here, you get the extra attack, and you get the extra defense. So actually, yeah, this is going to help you greatly. What you lose from not flipping the extra orange and blue, you kind of gain back by virtue of having these ones out there. So the question then becomes, alright, what kind of characters do we want here? Now, one I like very much indeed is actually Private Taraxodon. Now, he came around back in Wave 3, and Private Taraxodon, now, it's kind of a weird one, because the actual Taraxodon itself, I can kind of take it or leave it. But it's when Taraxodon gets KO'd and turns into the upgrade Binary Edgewing Scythe. When the upgraded character attacks and you flip at least 2 white icons, the defender's base attack becomes 0 during this battle. Now, the downside is you do have to give up Erratic Cannon to use this. The good news is Erratic Cannon gives you +3 attack on a white icon flip. But Binary Edgewing Scythe just gives you +3 attack, so you'll be alright, and you can put your opponent's defense to 0 while you're at it. I mean, my favourite, hands down here in terms of the white icon, is Mirage from Wave 1. I love Wave 1 Mirage, because, well, it does that thing, right, where it unflips. Unflips? That's not what I'm talking about. Untaps. It does that thing where it goes and untaps. So Autobot Mirage, when you're in bot mode, the first time you flip 3 white icons, you untap it. And then, of course, you are a car, which gives you access to things like Start Your Engines or Turbo Boosters, which also untap. Although do be aware that 2 of the 3 upgrades we're talking about in this video don't have white icons, and neither Start Your Engines nor Turbo Boosters actually has a white icon, so you do need to make sure that you're getting enough, we need to make sure you're getting enough white icons in there. Oh, that's pretty important. So, love this. As a side note, when you flip into alt mode, you get to play an extra action. That's pretty good. We could talk about Autobot Jazz. When you attack and flip 2 white icons, you get Pierce 2 until after the attack. That's quite nice. And in alt mode, even better than that, when you defend against an enemy that doesn't have Pierce and you flip at least 2 white icons, you are capped at taking 2 damage, which for anyone paying attention makes it literally twice as effective as a force field, although as a fun little side note, force field does have a white icon, so would fit nicely with them. One that I do not like as much, but is still there as an option, would be Chromia. Chromia again loves all of the white icons. When you are in bot mode, and you go ahead and flip yourself 2 white icons, you draw 2 cards. In alt mode, when you flip to it, you get to return a card of at least 1 white icon from your scrap pile to your hand, which is good for recovering some cards. Obviously, these 3 upgrades work better as a trio, and it's going to be hard to get them all on there, but the fact of the matter is they're great cards that work beautifully and are better than the alternatives, just so long as you can keep flipping white icons, so you are going to have to commit to the whites if you really want to make sure you can get them rolling. So there you go. But at this stage, I'd like to know what you think about them all, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about, well, games. Like, for instance, Transformers, but any other that take a fancy. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would you? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.